There's a great book out there called The One Thing by Uri Geller. Anybody heard of that book before? He talks about how if you can knock off the biggest domino in your life, that's going to tilt over every other domino. And I would submit to you that public speaking is that domino. When I started making changes in my life, and in 2012 when I transformed from an introvert to an extrovert, I can tell you guys that the world became my oyster. You'll be able to walk into a room, rub elbows, and mix and mingle with everybody in that room. Be on the stage, perform like you've never performed before. It's the one domino. Going on stage, doing motivational talks, learning how to do that. How do I find the events? What email scripts do I send out? How do I put on my own events? Inbound speaking and outbound speaking. It's the one thing. It's the one domino. The anxiety, all of a sudden, like, yeah, I'm good when I'm doing the thing, but I'd like to be good before I'm doing the thing as well. I don't want to have any of that mental chatter. I don't want it anymore. I'm here to tell you, you don't have to live with that. It's like a pebble in our shoe, you know, we just keep walking, but we feel it. That's what a lot of people do when it comes to public speaking. They keep walking and walking, but why are we putting up with that? That's what I'm here to tell you. We don't have to. Right? And you can go to a place where you're more confident than a lot of your peers at school. Now, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not like a magic bullet. And especially for kids. But at the same time, I've seen it happen like ridiculously fast. Sometimes in one session. Like, whoa, I don't feel the same. And now you're telling me I got 12 months worth of these and it's weekly. And I'm telling them, look, there's a possibility you're going to get a promotion. There's a possibility you're going to start a business throughout the 12 months. So there's other reasons. Because a lot of times people do get promotion on the program, or they do start the business, or they want to up-level their business. We also show people, you know, how do you up-level your business? How do you get more leads? How do you create free traffic? How do you find seminar rooms where you can host your own seminars? How do you put those seminars together? How do you make an offer at the end? Like, all of that is all being taught inside the program, but everybody needs something a little bit different than their classmate. So we don't just throw a cookie cutter saying, here's the agenda, here's what we do. I create a masterful session based on whoever shows up that day. So I got 50 people in the group, and as you can imagine, because everybody has a 12-month membership, you're not going to have 50 people show up all at once. That just never happens. If that happened in the gym will go out of business in one day. If all the members showed up. Now, we do get more people at New Year's, don't we? But we have a really, really beautiful mastermind kind of a session with whoever shows up that day. And I always look at the blind spots. There's some things that you're not even aware to ask. Some of you guys, you're like, hey, I'm pretty confident. The problem is maybe you're not that competent. A homeless person, when they come up to you, they're asking you for money, are they confident? Oh yeah, they are. Most of the time, they're pretty confident. Are they competent? Do you want to just say, oh, tell me more. Let me pull up a chair. Wow, you're so interesting to listen to. Is that how it goes down? Not really. Right? So there's a difference between being competent and confident. Right? And some of you guys, you're very confident, but you lack some skills and you're not even aware. Again, you don't know what you don't know. I don't even know what to ask. Right? So it's being in the environment when there's a trained eye. I think that's going to make a really, really radical difference for you. Any questions, thoughts? And then you guys, I've been pouring a lot, but I just want you to know that I'm not doing anything different than what I do in my normal life. There's always a tension between being and becoming. becoming, right? My self-ideal, trying to reach my maximum self, the person I envision myself to be. How about we just learn to be that person? So that's why there's no more on-off button. So for my students, what happens is they become by being. There's no more on-off button. It's not like, okay, now cut. Let me just be my, no, like you are yourself everywhere that you go. And that way when you show up at that motivational convention and you're next, and then the MC does your intro and you just show up there, you're not doing anything different than what you're already doing because you're already a good speaker 24/7, right? So it's more of that type of transformation where we're creating a deep level identity shift and we're always that person everywhere that we go. You know, so I'm not doing anything different than what I'm already doing throughout my life, 24/7, wherever I go. Now, I'm not saying I always, like I said, I'm not always, you know, high energy like this, because sometimes that's not what the moment calls for. But I'm always high energy inside. So there's a pure, clean energy. And, you know, I used to be in a place where I would use substances just because of this introversion, social anxiety that I would feel. I would use substances. And man, being on the other side now for 13 years, I'm not against it. Like if you like to have a glass of wine, maybe that's your thing. I don't need it. I walk into a room, I'm feeling better without the hangover, without the crash. And I'm able to just have this pure, clean energy just flow. It's a beautiful thing. And I tell people, like, it really happens from this one domino. Learn how to do this. The public speaking, get real comfortable with that. You're going to see that it auto-corrects everything else in your life. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Why did all these years that I put up with this? Why was I walking with the pebble in my shoe? I'm here to tell you, you don't have to. See how we're doing on time. Good, good. Okay, any questions you guys have? Are you guys picking up a couple of aha moments, or how do you feel right now? Let me do like a check-in, you know. I want to get it from the audience. How do you guys feel right now? Informative.
I feel like sometimes you can tell yourself some things in your head and you believe them and you know they're true logically, but sometimes you just need somebody else to say them to you with force.
Yeah.
For you to feel like they're actually true.
Yeah.
Or at least sometimes for me, I feel like.
Yeah. That's a fact. Yeah, we gotta shock the nervous system a little bit, and we gotta say it in a kind of way that it seeps in and gets sticky. Right? Yeah, very much so. How do you feel?
Good.
Good? Why do you feel good? You know, essentially, that is what happens a lot of times. We don't know why we feel good. We don't know. But my job is to create an environment where time stands still. A minute on a treadmill, is that a long minute? When you're doing your last lap, that's a long minute.
Right.
A minute when you're doing your favorite sport or you're with your loved one, it's like you don't even keep track of it. You're lost. Or a minute in your favorite book, your favorite show, a great movie that you know it's gonna be good from the jump, and it keeps staying good the whole time through, and you're like about 25% like, this is gonna be good. You're glued to it, right? How quickly do these minutes just go and you're not even aware? Time is just passing, right? It's like a time machine. So that's what I try to do inside the classes, is to create an environment where time stands still. We have so much noise out there. How about we just create something different. And that's what we've been doing now for the last 13 years. And that's why it's so magical, is because it's not so much what we're doing. Yes, we're learning a lot of techniques. We are. I have a lot of them to throw at you, a lot of them. But it's more so about that energetic exchange and just being able to feel differently. And then when we go out there, we're like, wow, this is just, I don't have to turn it off. Like, I can continue feeling good. I can continue to be that source of good emotions for others. Because do you think that right now we're living in a space and time where we need more leaders to motivate people without being motivational speakers or gurus, just by being an example? Did you know that you are an example for those around you, whether you realize it or not? We have these things called mirror neurons. And if I feel a certain emotion, you'll feel it too, without even realizing it. Again, we talked about earlier, how animals have this ability to feel, to pick up on intuition. Yeah, and it's interesting because it's not so much like I haven't been giving you a bunch of tips for 90 minutes. I haven't really been doing that. But you pick up, it's like a perception. That's what you're picking up. And it is correct, by the way. And everybody has a different, like, okay, here's what I got from it. So can you imagine if you came to a starter session like this, and then you actually signed up and you went for the full-fledged program? And that doesn't mean you have to show up every single class, but you'll have the ability to show up to as many classes as you want. And it's a very different environment because you'll be the one speaking with a lot of coaching, not just speaking for random speaking for the sake of it, but you'll be speaking with the actual hands-on coaching, and it's going to be on videotape. And do you think that if today was a light bulb kind of a moment, do you think that you'll probably get some transformations if you actually decided to invest and say yes to yourself? It's very, very much so. Very much so.